Good morning, students. Today we are going to enter another period of development or establishment of British Empire in India. Before entering to the topic, let me correct a mistake that has happened in the previous unit. When I spoke about Robert Clive, I mentioned about the wealth he has amassed, and I told it as dollar. Sorry, at that time, even dollar has not come into existence. The amount should be read as pound. Okay, now let's come to the topics. First, we are going to deal with Anglo-Mysore Wars. Anglo means British. Mysore, we know, is a kingdom in the southern part of India. It is in Karnataka. We are all part of it. So the British and Mysore kingdom had a conflict, and that resulted in the domination of British, and the old kingdom of Mysore was brought under British rule through the subsidiary alliance policy by the British. Here in this map we see the area of Mysore. You can see there. That is Mysore. It has got neighboring states like Travancore, Marathas, and Nizam of Hyderabad. They were ruling its neighbors. Wadayas were removed from their throne, and Hyder Ali took over the administration of Mysore. Hyder Ali was really a soldier, but he captured the power of Mysore and started rule. When he started rule, the power or the strength of Mysore went up, and that led into a conflict with the Britishers. We can see the photo of Hyder Ali here. Now we will go to the causes of the conflict. Mysore is in the western coast and in the high ranges. There are so many materials that are rarely found is available, like sandalwood and other spices. British wanted to have trade with these things, and they wanted to get a lot of profit. But Hyder Ali was not permitting the Britishers to have so much of profit. He wants tax from the British, and British has already experienced of a conflict in Bengal and getting the achievements. So they are eager or greedy to grab all the profits and all the facilities that is available in India. So the first Anglo-Mysore War was in 1761 to 82. Hyder Ali was the ruler of that time. He sought the help of Marathas, but Marathas refused to help him. Then he sought the help of Britishers to attack Marathas. Britishers also refused. So naturally he was a bit angry with the Britishers. He decided to attack on Britishers, and he moved till Madras to Vellore area. He attacked the Britishers and he won the war, and Britishers agreed to sign an agreement. Then it has happened, Hyder Ali dies. His son Tipu becomes the Sultan of Mysore. He was born on 20th November 1750 and died on 4th May 1799. Tipu is said to be the pioneer of rocket technology. The last of this slide we'll see the photos of that. And he brought up so many new changes in his administration in Mysore. He helped the people to develop their agricultural facilities. He helped the silk industry to grow. And he wanted the living standard of his people should increase. So as a ruler, he has done what he could for the development of Mysore area. Now you can see the Srirangapatnam Palace where Britishers attacked Tipu in 1799, and in this palace only Tipu died. In the second war, Hyder Ali lost. Started with Hyder Ali, but son continued, but son lost. And there was a treaty of Mangalore which gave an upper hand to the British. In the third Anglo-Mysore War, that was in 1790, Britishers wanted somehow destroy the power of Tipu, because Tipu was taking the help of French and he was trying to be independent. So in 1790, Lord Cornwallis began an attack on Tipu, and his name was dropped from the list of friends of British East India Company. British East India Company could check him, stop him his progress, and he was defeated. Some of the areas of Tipu had to be given to Britishers. Now the fourth and the final war took place. There it was Lord Wellesley. It was in 1799. British forces stormed into Srirangapatnam and Tipu was killed in the battlefield. Some say committed suicide, some say died, we don't know exactly. Anyway, his dead body was found at night. Somebody has betrayed him. So many theories are there. Exactly, nobody knows how did he die. Anyway, at night, his dead body was found near to Srirangapatnam. So thus, the fourth Anglo-Mysore War came to an end. Now to see the result of this, all the four wars. The Anglo-Mysore War brought an end to the influence of French in India. French had to concentrate themselves only to trade. in Pondicherry, in Mahi, and in Bengal, Chandranagore. These three places were in the hands of French. They were the trading centers of French, and they were forced to be only on those areas. Mysore was given back the old Odyar dynasty, and subsidiary alliance was imposed on them. And some of the territories of Mysore was given to Nizam of Hyderabad, Wayanad, Coimbatore, etc. All those areas were directly brought under the control of British. And I have already told you, Hyder Ali had developed naval forces. Now the end of naval forces of India has taken place. No more Indian kings were able to have naval forces. Now the reasons of defeat of Tipu. Indian kings did not support him. Instead, Nizam and Maratha supported the Britishers. Britishers had naturally plenty of resources, and they have well-trained and experienced soldiers. Those soldiers were well-trained, regularly trained and paid salary, so upkept, every time ready to fight. So that has helped Britishers to come to South India, conquer Mysore area, and dominate this area. So now they could get free materials or spices from Kerala or Karnataka without paying any taxes to the governments or the rulers of India. So now you can see Tipu. You can see it's said to be the sword that was being utilized by Tipu in his fighting. These are some of the pictures of rockets that were used by Tipu. First you can see some rockets, then you can see Mysore Palace, then you can see a picture of a tiger on a white man. This is what is said to be a toy tiger. When it is given key, that toy tiger would start attacking the Britishers or the white men below it. So some of the photos of Mysore we can see. So thus Mysore was brought under the control of British in 1799. Thus the same way now Britishers are entering to the Western India. Eastern India they conquered, Southern India they have now conquered. Now they are entering to Western India, that is with the Marathas. No, Marathas were powerful groups till 1761. Third Battle of Panipat took place in 1761. Ahmad Shah Abdali defeated the Marathas. Marathas had a strong desire to become powerful rulers of India and capture India and rule, but the defeat at the battleground of Panipat created their downfall. So now the Britishers are trying to conquer that area, but they find it very difficult. But ultimately, by the divide and rule policy, supporting somebody, attacking somebody, helped the British to defeat Marathas and capture power in Delhi. Marathas are divided into groups of chieftains. They are known as confederacy. In this confederacy, we can see the Gaikwads, one chieftain, he had located his capital at Baroda. Baroda is in Gujarat. In the last slide, we can see the map of India. I have taken it there. See there. Then another chieftain had located himself in Nagapur. Nagapur is in Maharashtra. Another chieftain was located at Holkers, located in Indore. He was known as Holkers. Another one was Scindias at Gwalior. Nowadays, those who are reading newspaper, we may come to know about Jyotiraditya Scindia, who has left Congress party and joined BJP. So he belongs to that dynasty, that chieftain family. So he is located, or the Scindias are located at Gwalior in Madhya Pradesh. And the headquarters of Marathas is at Pune. Originally, Shivaji had started the kingdom at Satara. And you can see in the last, you will see the map, Pratapgarh fort of Shivaji is, I have given in the map, you can see that. So all this, that is the background of Marathas. As I told you already, the Panipat battle created the downfall, or started the downfall of Marathas. You can see there are 3 wars with Marathas. First war, Marathas were defeated. In the second, Marathas could get some control. But the infight between the Marathas created the downfall. India's support remained neutral. Bhonsle and Holkar supported the Peshwa. Gaikwads also remained neutral. So naturally, it was easy for the Britishers. And in the third and the final, the same thing happened. Scindias remained neutral, and ultimately British could defeat Marathas. And Peshwa was sent to Kanpur with a pension. Pune and all these areas were brought under the control of British. Scindia had to agree with the subsidiary alliance. The Marathas were divided and destroyed by different kinds of attacks or policies followed by the British. The main reason of defeat of Marathas is the disunity among themselves. And they were not having the developed weapons as the Britishers were having. And an advantage of the British was they had a single unified command. So they could attack in a planned, systematic way. As other things happened, Indian kings, they are not united. No other Indian king was ready to support Marathas against the British. And British has clearly played through their diplomatic method that no Indian kings support each other. This all things created the achievement for the British and downfall of Indian kingdoms. You can see Pratapgarh Fort, and you can see here Gaikwad's Baroda, Holkar's in Indore, Scindia in Madhya Pradesh, Bhonsle's in Nagpur, and Peshwa in Pune. Thank you very much.